It's not a bad question on the text line, Pete. How did the job numbers come in less than expected, but the unemployment rate drops better than expected? They expected 200,000 jobs would give us 3.6%. We got 180,000 jobs and get a 3.5% unemployment rate because it ties back to how many people are looking for work. If the number of people looking for work was lower than expected, then the unemployment rate will come in below expectations, even if the jobs numbers come in below expectations. So, I mean, it's a good question, but that's how that goes. So yesterday was out at the K, and I know a lot of you are going to agree with me on this statement, but as I'm sitting out at the K yesterday watching the Royals just destroy the Mets, you had Bobby Witt Jr. hit a home run. What's his name? Drew hit a home run as well. Nice little lefty swing there he's got. It's such a great ballpark. It is. There's no point in doing some kind of deep dive into why the Royals should stay at the K. They're not going to stay there. But it really is such a great, convenient ballpark. And, does it look like it was built when it was built 50 years ago? Sure. Yeah, it does. But it's also one of those things where that's not a bad thing. Could it use a facelift? Yes, it could. Could it use yes, absolutely. But I'm not sitting here as I'm watching the game yesterday and saying, gosh, this town sure does need a new ballpark. You know what Kansas City needs right now? It just desperately needs a new place for the baseball team. At no point was there an amenity that I thought could be more convenient. Was there a bathroom that I thought could be closer? Was there something around the kids? They still got all the kids' stuff out in left field that I thought could be better done. There was not a single thing. As I'm out at that ballpark yesterday and watching the game and walking around with Claire, and she's digging the food, like, those fountains are huge. I'm like, yeah, they're great. There was nothing, not a single thing that I thought to myself, gosh, if only they had fill in the blank. Now, the product, obviously, on the field needs to dramatically improve. But there was nothing else. Now, I understand it's about more than just baseball. I understand now you want to diversify your revenue streams. You want to find other ways to make money so you can theoretically put that money back into the baseball team. I get the business model, but I can't help but think as I'm getting in and out of the ballpark, as I'm enjoying the game, as I'm sitting there and saying, gosh, this is a great memory for myself and my 4-year-old. There was nothing missing, John. Not a single thing.
One thing we haven't mastered here, unfortunately, is Kansas City can be so far behind that it's actually ahead of the times. You know what I mean? As soon as we tear it down and go downtown and build up the stuff, within 15 years, everybody, hey, I like this exclusive land-purpose landlock idea for stadiums.
Huge parking lots.
Correct.
Yeah.
And we'll be just that far enough behind to miss being ahead of the curve.
Yes, to miss, but you're still too far behind to not be ahead where you are right now. But you're right. I mean, the downtown ballpark idea was the big thing 15, 20 years ago. You saw it happening in Pittsburgh, in Cincinnati.
Right, Baltimore's where it started, right?
Baltimore, Camden Yards. Yep, Minneapolis did it too with their ballpark up there. Cleveland
did a nice job.
Yep, they all did good jobs in the last 15, 20 years. You're right. So John Sherman realizes he's behind the times on this. So what I think he's trying to do is split the difference. He's trying to have the downtown-ish feel while knowing, by the way, that downtown baseball is not what it was 15 years ago because major American city politics are a disaster across the country. They've gone way too far to the left. They have given up on trying to fight violent crime in too many cases. We know what's happening here in Kansas City. The tax situation is brutal. The red tape is out of control. But you still want to kind of have the environment. You want to have maybe the view. So he's trying to do a little bit of both. He's trying to have the suburban-ish, urban-ish enough feel while not being in the hub of a downtown environment a la Baltimore, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and even San Diego's done it as well with their, if it's still Petco Park, I don't know. These parks change every 2 years, their names. But you get the point. He's trying to do a little bit of both. But you do wonder, and I don't think you're wrong there, John, you do wonder if the day comes back when suddenly it's going to be like, having that massive lot where people can just park and walk in and there's not a lot of traffic in the general vicinity. And, oh, man, that's a great idea.
Well, they'll do the 70s style, too, with the kind of open-looking flying saucer thing, right?
Yes. I can see that.
It won't be just straight up and down like you crammed the old baseball parks were crammed into whatever city block space was available, and you made it fit and stacked people up. And that looks cool, and so all that came back in vogue, but pretty soon it'll all come back to what the Kauffman Stadium looks like now, and we'll all be going, yeah, we used to have a great ballpark like that.
But, it really is. There's nothing better than afternoon baseball. Don't get me wrong. I've been to a lot of Chiefs games, and there's nothing better than the energy of Arrowhead Stadium. But when you're sitting there with a 4-year-old at a baseball game, and, there was probably, 12,000 people there yesterday, if I'm being generous. It was not a big crowd, as you would imagine. I'd be curious to look up what the crowd size was. It was not big yesterday. Here it is, 11,900. Hey, not a bad guess by me. Ding, ding, ding.
Bam.
Thank you very much.
Boom, boom, boom.
I said about 12,000. So when
Close enough for government work.
Yeah, that's right. When you're sitting in a section and, you got 4 people in your row and you're sitting back, you're watching baseball, there really is nothing better. Like, that's a memory yesterday that with a 4-year-old I'll have forever, and hopefully she'll have. And she wanted to bring her glove. She got a glove yesterday morning with Mom, and then I had to bring my glove. And all I'm thinking about, by the way, is, gosh, I got to carry these gloves around now all day. But it was so cute because we're sitting there watching the game, the first inning, 2 innings, and I got my glove in my lap. I'm not actively holding my glove ready for a quick snag.
Right.
But she's like, Dad, you got to put your glove on. You got to get your glove on, Dad. I'm like, hey, honey, I've caught foul balls barehanded. You just watch me, which is true. I have caught a foul ball barehanded. But it's just, those are the kind of things that you can't pay for. You just can't. You can't put a price on those things. And that's what made it so awesome, so great, and you just can't beat it. You just can't beat it. And the K is such a fantastic place for families. I'm going to be sad to see it go, even though I understand why it's going. And I hope that Sherman and the Royals put together something that is just as family-friendly. It doesn't mean I'm not going to miss it. And, I've only got a few years of memories there, but they're all really good, even though the team has stunk.
Well, absolutely. And if you can always get that feel over at Legends Field, too, as well, with the Monarchs.
Yeah, that's true.
Sitting at the ball game in the afternoon, anywhere, whether you're at Fenway or Wrigley or at the K. It's a great day.
I'm only going, though, if the Savannah Bananas are coming to town.
Yeah.
They got to be the Savannah Bananas.
Hunter Pence played for them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How about that?